I might stole my thunder and ask a question that I was going to ask before I start the presentation. Just a very quick show of hands as we're looking away. Has anybody got a mobile optimised recruitment site at the moment? Is anyone thinking about it? Perfect. So what I really want to show you is what we've done at Capita, and hopefully that will inspire you to think about what maybe you might take back into your own organisations. Because mobile is massive. Mobile is really a massively important part to how you might be thinking about recruitment in the future. That one might be a real one. Okay, so first of all, who am I? Well, I'm Hutchinson. I'm the head of sourcing at Capita Resourcing. I've been at Capita since September 2014. I've previously worked at organisations like Cable Wireless, Accenture, Alexander Mann Solutions and Home Retail Group. I've been in recruitment for 19 years and I've specifically focused on candidate attraction and sourcing for the last 14 years. I've actually never been a recruiter. My passion is in around how we engage, find and attract candidates to enable recruiters to be best at what they're doing, which is filling vacancies. So what am I going to talk about? So I thought first of all I'd introduce Capita. Does anyone know Capita? Anyone heard of Capita as an organisation? You've probably touched Capita at some point in your life in some way or another. I'm then going to go into some job seeker insight just to help you understand what job seekers are saying about mobile. We'll look at what the job boards are saying. And then we'll talk about some of the barriers to mobile submission. So what are the issues that people face when thinking about using a mobile platform when applying or looking for vacancies? I'll talk you through what was involved in our process, and then I'll share some of the results and the success, and then obviously any opportunity for questions at the end. So in terms of capital resourcing, nearly fell off the edge there, we're a strategic resourcing business within the Capita PLC. And we align ourselves with customers and connect with them to make their businesses more successful from a recruitment perspective. And actually within the Capita suite of businesses, we have capital resourcing that sits at the top. We also have Security Watchdog that does references and checking. We have Right Research, and we've got a colleague here today, Lee Parker, who's in the room. And I'm actually part of the Right Research family. We've just introduced a new solution called Research on Demand, which is really exciting. And we also have 33. So actually, in terms of the suite of brands that we have within our organisation, we're able to offer brand and creative, we're able to offer full RPO managed service solutions, and we're also able to do that security, reference checking and vetting at the end. We provide services to about 150 different organisations. We brought 16,000 perm hires through our process last year. There's about 1,100 employees in our organisation. We're typically managing 12,500 contractors at any one time. We're on site at 35 different locations. We've got a temp spend under our management of about £500 million. We provide outsourced recruitment services to 30 different organisations. And we provide services across 90 different countries. So we're a fairly big-sized organisation providing recruitment services across lots of different sectors and industries. On top of that, we also provide the recruitment for Capita. It's a non-mandated RPO solution back into our wider group organisation. It's actually that solution that I'm going to talk to you about today in terms of our mobile strategy. So, first of all, what does the job seeker expect? So, actually 55% of job seekers expect to be able to see job openings or listings without having to register. So they don't want to have to come onto a career site and register before they can actually physically view jobs. 27% expect to have an ability to apply for jobs from a mobile device. So all of those people in the room that put their hand up to say that they're thinking about it, that's a definite clear indication as to why you should. All the people that haven't got any thoughts around this yet, people expect to be able to apply for their mobile devices, so it's definitely something that you should be considering. 23% expect a website to be optimised for mobile devices. How many people use their mobile phones and look on websites that aren't mobile optimised? Pretty clunky experience, right? Squeezing the screen, difficult to read the content, etc. Think about that from a candidate experience and the fact that 23% of your potential audience expect to be able to do that through their mobile device. And 11% expect to be able to use their LinkedIn profile or online CV to apply for a job. 27% of job seekers expect to be able to apply for a job from their mobile device, and 37% of millennials expect career websites to be optimised for mobile. This data, by the way, was taken from an Indeed survey last year. So, from a job seeker's perspective, it's pretty clear that mobile is important, and therefore, from a recruitment perspective, it's massively important that you put that at the top of your kind of thought process. So, who are the mobile job seekers? So, 64% of adults who change their jobs every 1 to 5 years are mobile users. And they've searched for jobs or had contact with a potential employee via their mobile device. And that's compared to 43% of adults overall. So that population of people that are changing jobs every 1 to 5 years, and let's be realistic about the changing market, about the fluidity of people changing jobs, that's a significant part of the people that we're talking about. Of the people that have searched by a mobile device, 60% are likely to be male, and 38% are in that 18 to 29-year-old age bracket. That doesn't mean to say that it's only a younger audience that are using mobile devices. That's only 38% in that age bracket. You will actually see that people across all age brackets are using their mobile device. So why are job seekers turning to mobile? Well, 41% said that they see it as the process being quicker. 37% said they find it easier. And 55% cited that they do it for convenience purposes. 21% said that they prefer to do recruitment searching or vacancy searching on the go. However, 47% just said that they like to turn to their most convenient device. So how do mobile job seekers search? Well, 30 to 39-year-old adults, 30 to 39-year-old seekers are more likely than average to own an iPad. So 30 to 39-year-olds are more likely to have an iPad and therefore be using that as a potential route to look for vacancies. That's 34% versus 25% of all job seekers. And among 18 to 29-year-old job seekers, 43% own an iPhone and 54% own an Android phone. And actually, therefore, that's pretty much all of them have got some sort of smart device. They're also 2 times as likely to do so on a mobile device when you think about things like using apply via things like Facebook and LinkedIn. So mobile job seekers favour Facebook over LinkedIn in their job search, which is actually quite interesting. But university educated seekers are 4 times as likely to update their LinkedIn profile with professional info than those that are school educated. And of that, they're 2 times more likely to do that via their mobile device. So again, if you think about how many people are using LinkedIn as a platform, a lot of LinkedIn's traffic is now through mobile devices. So, number one, are you thinking about how you optimise your job advert for mobile readers? And then off the back of that, how they then go on to apply. So what are the job boards saying? So on Saturdays, half of Reed's traffic comes via mobile devices. Who uses Reed? So there's a significant amount of traffic that potentially you're turning off in terms of the process because you're not mobile optimised. Your application route doesn't fit the platform that they're potentially using. During 2014, over 54% of all UK traffic to Indeed.co.uk came from a mobile device. Does anyone sponsor jobs on Indeed? If your career site isn't mobile optimised or your application process isn't mobile optimised, Indeed don't sponsor those jobs for that mobile traffic. So 54% of their traffic is coming from mobile devices, but you're not getting access to it even though you're sponsoring your jobs. And they do that to protect candidate experience. Because actually what they want from an Indeed experience is to make sure that candidates that are applying via mobile devices have a fluid experience. On average, 2.4 million mobile applications are made on JobServe every year. 2.4 million applications a year. And that's a 200% increase on the previous year. And on LinkedIn, 30% of all LinkedIn job views come from mobile. That's quite significant numbers, isn't it, when you think about the amount of traffic that potentially is coming to your site, interested in your vacancies, but you haven't set yourselves up to be optimised and enabled to enable them to have a smooth candidate journey. So when thinking about some of the barriers to mobile submission, 66% of individuals would apply for a job on a mobile device if the process was simplified. So actually what we're finding is that they'll come through their mobile device and then they'll find actually this is really clunky, this is really painful, and they'll stop the process. Do they come back? Who knows? 53% aren't comfortable applying on small screens. This is where it's really important that you think about, if you're going to optimise your mobile career site, make sure you think mobile in your design. If you continue to have the same format that your existing career site has, it may just not be visible enough for a mobile user, and that again might turn them off. 34% cite difficulty. So tailoring CVs to apply for different jobs, having that multiple CV option. And 26% have issues attaching multiple documents. So there's a number of things that actually prevent people from going through that whole process of applying for a vacancy via their mobile device. And it's massively critical when you think about your mobile strategy that you apply your thinking towards some of those barriers and you fix them in your approach. So, going on to our solution. Now, one of the key elements that was really important when we were thinking about our mobile strategy was our ATS provider. Typically within your career site, the job search element is actually hosted through your ATS, right? This was what our previous experience looked like. And you can see straight away, if you think about one of those mobile barriers to submission, that'd be really difficult to read on a mobile platform, right? It would be really difficult to navigate, it would be really difficult to follow that process through. But what we've moved that to, if you look at the career site on the left-hand side, it's a much neater, smoother, easier and simplified solution. And then you can't actually see that at all with the light, but the mobile platform follows that same principle. It's all based on drop-downs. And it's very simple to navigate through. So our solution, which actually is the most exciting part, can't particularly see very well, but hopefully you'll see these slides as they're shared out after the event. So what's that involved for us? So I guess first of all, what was massively important to us was a review. We recognised the importance of mobile, but we didn't quite know what it was that we needed to fix. And actually through that process, we identified that this wasn't just about developing a mobile optimised application process, it was about rethinking about our whole career site. So this actually fed into a much wider project of looking at what our career site looked like and how we could feed that process into our application process and think mobile through that process. So that review consisted of looking at some of the analysis that helped to highlight the importance, and I've shared some of that with you today, which you can share with some of your business colleagues. But we also spoke to candidates. We spoke to people in our business, but we also spoke to the candidates that we were engaging, because we wanted to understand from them directly what was important. We had a load of meetings internally to really start to get people on board for the fact that this was really important. And actually, if you think about some of the data that I've shared with you, it's not particularly difficult to sell. If you're able to take this to the right people in your organisation in terms of how critical mobile is in the recruitment space, it shouldn't be overly difficult for you to tell the story that you need to do something differently. We then started to scope out our solution, and that included working with our career site providers, but also our ATS. And that's where it got really exciting, actually, because there was an assumption that our ATS wouldn't necessarily be able to give us everything that we were looking for. But actually, we work with PeopleFluent, we actually found their mobile optimization of their application process was really quite good. And it enables us to really move away from having a bog standard search functionality that existed previously to really applying that to our mobile strategy. We consulted internally and also with our providers to get to the point where we were able to find that final solution and get that signed off. We then took that into our budget owners and we told the story of what we were looking to achieve and got them to sign that off in terms of this makes sense, let's make it happen. Our overall budget was about 150k. Now that money was consisting of both a whole revamp of our career sites and the work that we did with PeopleFluent to mobile optimise the application process. So for us, the new candidate journey, again, is massively important. So we've gone from a really clunky display of job details on the right-hand side, really difficult to read, to now, actually, through our ATS integration, making it look and feel exactly the same as the career site. So what you previously would have seen on our career site was that we had a lovely, creative, branded career site, and then it was very clearly obvious when you were going to the ATS for the application process, because it looked and felt very different. But actually what we've now got is something that's seamless to the rest of the candidate journey. And the same with the sign-in process. It's just very different to what it looked and felt like before. One of the other things that we made a decision on, we talked earlier about the fact that candidates don't want to have to register before looking for jobs. Well, we made sure that that wasn't the case, but we did make a conscious decision to get candidates to register at the point that they applied. And the reason for that was that they potentially weren't ready to actually complete a full application, even though we were giving them that option to do that. By making it mandatory that they registered at the point of starting the application, they were able to create, via just asking for their name and email address, a profile that they were able to go back to so that they could complete their application at a later date. So registration isn't liked by candidates to view jobs, but actually it's massively important if you want to make sure that you enable that process to be as smooth as possible for candidates that maybe aren't quite ready because they haven't got their CV stored in the cloud, for example, or they haven't got a LinkedIn profile to be able to apply via LinkedIn. And that's another thing that was massively important to what we introduced as part of our new solution. We now enable candidates to apply via LinkedIn Apply. So candidates can apply by uploading a CV through cloud-based products like Google Drive or Dropbox, etc. But they can also use their LinkedIn profile to do a quick apply. So, tangible results. And there's a load of fantastic stuff that we're seeing, but I thought this was really useful to share with you. Over a quarter of our traffic from January to June of this year is coming via mobile devices. So if we didn't have a mobile optimised solution, that's a quarter of our applications wouldn't necessarily come through mobile platforms, and we'd lose that potential interested candidate. And if I look at unique sessions by age, you can actually therefore see, we spoke earlier about that key demographic in that middle range of age group, but there's a nice broad of ages from 18 to 24 to 55 to 64 that are coming to our career site using a mobile device. So between January and June, 5,000 people between the age of 55 and 64 visited our site and viewed jobs via their mobile platform. The biggest number is the 25 to 34 bracket with 30,209 visits. But again, what I'm trying to demonstrate there is that this isn't a fix for one particular age group. This is something that you will find relevant across all of your candidate application age group potential. So just to finish really, all of that great work led to success, and this was the best photo I could find because this was just after we'd received the award as opposed to later on in the evening, and Rebecca's shaking her head, did you see me? Yeah, okay. So, what we did was recognised in the industry as effective, and what I would say is if you take some of the learnings that we've taken into your own organisation, you can create something that really makes a difference to your organisation. In terms of summary, our career site is now optimised for mobile devices and is actually responsive. So depending on the platform, it responds accordingly. Candidates are able to see job openings or listings without having to register, which again was listening to the kind of insight that we'd got from the people that we were talking to and the data we got from the Indeed research. Candidates can now apply for roles from a mobile device, any place, any time. And as I said before, because we capture their registration at the point that they start to apply, they can then come back to that at any point and complete their application. And on top of that, candidates can use their LinkedIn profile or an online CV to apply for a job. I won't read that out, but that's just a final point, just to reinforce the point that mobile is now, it's also the future. So it's really important that people get on that bandwagon and actually start thinking about how they can bring that into their own solutions. And that's it for me. I guess open up to any questions.